Hello, good evening. Once again, we are talking about more Rise of the Floodborn. We've got new cards revealed, more fun stuff to check out, and we are uh, going to be looking at everything that's been released this week as far as new card reveals. So we're going to start with the first one here. I'm Stuck. It's a one cost inkable amethyst action. Chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of their next turn. This is number 63 out of 204 in set 2. The art here, we've got Winnie the Pooh stuck in Rabbit's Hole. This is pretty iconic scene from Winnie the Pooh, the animated movie, where Winnie goes to visit Rabbit, eats all of Rabbit's honey, and then becomes too large to actually leave Rabbit's hole, and they have to tug and pull, and eventually they're able to get Pooh out of Rabbit's hole. Very fun scene, very iconic art that definitely evokes that scene, which is great. The flavor text is "Oh bother, not again." So obviously this is the um, Elsa Spirit of Winter, part of her effect tied to an action. So chosen exerted character can't ready at the start of their turn. Obviously, even though this is a one cost action card, we are unlikely to be playing this on turn one. So this would be something that we're going to play later in the game when your opponent has something exerted that you can target. Probably something that quests for a lot, or something that does other good things when it quests, or something that you don't want to kind of come back and challenge. This would be great to play against, like a Maui, something like that. I think it's a good card. I think it will find a lot of play, especially maybe alongside Elsa Snow Queen, or as a follow up to Elsa Spirit of Winter. And obviously, there's going to be lots of other stuff that we are still going to see that could play really well with it. So this is the first card that was revealed this week. We're moving on to Flynn Rider. We've got another one drop inkable Flynn Rider, Confident Vagabond. He's a 1 strength, 3 willpower emerald storyborn hero prince. He quests for 1 lore. It's a common, 81 out of 204. Uh, the flavor text says, I love a good fan club, but they could at least try to get the nose right. And we got for the art, we've got Flynn leaning against a tree with all of his wanted posters. Obviously, lots of art with Flynn with horrible noses. I love the Easter egg here. We've got the 2 drop Flynn Rider art kind of hiding right here, and there's been obviously lots of speculation that this art will be from the hopefully a Floodborn version of Flynn that will exist somewhere in the new set as well. So, fun card. It's great to have another one cost option in Emerald. Right now, our only option is Duke. Super happy to see Flynn. It's great to have a 3 cost or a 3 willpower body show up. Um, it's good all around. I like it. I think three willpower is very good on one cost characters. I'm a big fan of it. Um, Mostly because you avoid the 2/2s can't take you out. They can just do some damage to you. So your opponents have to either like use 2 fire the cannons or use a smash, or fire the cannons and swing in with something, or they need something that can swing for 3. So you need something with challenger, like a Captain Hook. So the number of things that can take Flynn out for 1 cost are pretty limited. So it's good. I like it. Moving on. New cards revealed today on the Lorcana Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, um, by Steve. And I'm sorry, I don't remember the other lady's name. But first one up, we've got Bounce. Bounce is a 2 cost uninkable action in Emerald. Return chosen character of yours to your hand to return another chosen character to their player's hand. So you pay 2, you play this action, you choose one of your characters and put it back in your hand, and that allows you to return your opponent's character to their hand. This will probably work well with that new Merlin that was revealed. beyond that, I would rather just pay the one extra ink to just play Mother Knows Best. Or it's also a song, which means you can just exert one of your 3 cost characters to play it and get your opponent's character off the board for a turn. Like, um, I expect there's going to be more shenanigans for returning your characters to your hand. Which I did want to look up real quick. Here we go. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. Merlin, whenever one of your other characters is returned to your hand from play, this character gets +1 lore this turn. So obviously that this bounce card, uh, could help trigger this. Um, the interesting thing is, if you can bounce more than one thing, if there's more, um, if there's more support for that, you could add more. Like Merlin could get big if there's some significant stuff there. It'd be really interesting to see like a Floodborn, a shift character that when it enters play, the card the shifted character that's under it, that card gets returned to your hand. That might be something that'd be an interesting thing. Maybe they have a different word for it, not shift, maybe something else, but it'd be like an alternate effect for Floodborn characters to get on the board. I don't know. Just some interesting options. All right. Next, let's check out the stream is doing. Next up, we've got Cogsworth Talking Clock. He's a 2-cost inkable sapphire storyborn ally. 2 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1. Wait a minute is his ability's name. Your characters with reckless gain exert, gain 1 lore. The flavor text says, "This has gone far enough. I'm in charge here." He's card 143 in the new set, and he's an uncommon. So Cogsworth here gives your reckless characters something to do. Now, the thing that I think is going to be interesting to find out is this thing a thing they can do instead of attacking with reckless, or does reckless, because reckless says and must attack if able, does this just give them something to do if they have nothing to swing at, right? If they have nothing to challenge, excuse me, is that what this is basically doing, giving them an alternate thing, something they're not just kind of stuck there doing nothing on your board if your opponent either has nothing out or has nothing exerted to challenge into or is otherwise protected. So yeah, I think he's pretty cool, and obviously he's going to tie in very closely with our next card, Cogsworth Grandfather Clock. So this is a 5-cost inkable sapphire, 2 strength, 5 willpower, Floodborn ally. As a Floodborn, he's got shift 3. He has ward. He quests for 2 lore, and his ability is unwind. Your other characters gain resist +1, which means damage dealt them is reduced by 1. Now, I think that this card is probably going to pair very, very nicely, especially because he's in Sapphire, with Aurora Dreaming Guardian, who already has ward but gives all of your other characters ward. So the combination of these two is going to protect them from being chosen by cards like Smash or Dragonfire and things like that nature. Things like Hades' ability, Let It Go, all that kind of stuff. And Unwind gives them resist as well. So give them some protection against cards like Grab Your Swords or stuff like that. So I think it's those two cards together will work really, really well to kind of really do a good job of protecting Sapphire. And I think we're going to start seeing, I expect maybe Sapphire and Steel with all the other resist you see in Steel, with these high willpower characters, could be a really powerful protective. You'll see your characters be very durable. I expect the value of cards like Be Prepared is going to go up and up and up, especially if we get like a 5-cost character that ends up with Singer 7 or something along those lines in this new set. And if there's any way to play Be Prepared earlier, I would expect that that's going to be very popular in the new set to deal with stuff like resist and all the resist cards. And last but not least, we have the Prince. The Prince never gives up. We have a 3-cost, inkable, steel, 1 strength, 3 willpower, Dreamborn Hero Prince. He's a bodyguard, so he can enter play exerted, and an opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose one with bodyguard if able. He's got resist +1. He quests for 2 lore. He's an uncommon. Oh, I didn't talk about this. So Cogsworth is a super rare. Cogsworth Grandfather Clock is a super rare. So far, all of our Floodborn characters have been rare, super rare, or legendary. I believe the current breakdown is, I want to say it's 5 rare. I should say for set 1, it's either 5 rare and 6 super rare. And just 1 legendary. I don't know. I'll have to look that back up. But we don't have any uncommon or common Floodborn characters yet. And I think that that would be something super interesting to see, is how they deal with Floodborn characters at an uncommon level. I would expect that maybe the shift cost would be only reduced by 1, or we'd see them be more frequently uninkable, or something of that nature to kind of offset how common they are to find. Anyways, going back to the Prince, didn't want to undercut his introduction. So he quests for 2, which is a nice little bump. This is a card that you're going to probably play. You're going to be choosing basically between the Prince and Hercules. The Prince essentially gets 4 willpower against a single attack. Obviously, more willpower if being attacked by something weaker. He has bodyguard. He's coming in that 3 cost slot. So there's he doesn't swing back as hard. You're right. He's not as good at kind of knocking back at resisting the things that are fighting back. He's good at resisting. That's not the right way to say it. Like, he's not as dangerous to whatever's going to attack him, which I think is probably the only real downside. But I think in Steel, getting more things that can quest for more lore is good, because I think as a whole, Steel as a color doesn't have a lot of aggression. It's not a very high lore generating. There's just not a lot of characters that generate a lot of lore in Steel, and so getting something that can quest for 2 at the 3-drop slot, I think is fantastic. I think resist is a super powerful ability, and actually I'm interested to hear more from the developers and game designers on kind of their thought process for resist, and how they kind of weight resist as a keyword compared to other things that are out there. I was a little disappointed to see resist show up in Sapphire on this Cogsworth card, mostly because Steel doesn't have a keyword that is exclusive to it. That's not just very few colors have like keywords that are exclusive to them, but you definitely have certain things that are kind of unique. And I guess Steel does have its own unique things. Direct damage is a thing that right now is exclusively Steel. You have item destruction is a thing that's exclusively Steel. So they definitely have their own things. But I think it would be very cool if certain keywords were definitely like locked into a certain ink color, kind of to restrict deck. I don't know if restrict deck building, but I think it makes for more interesting choices sometimes. Like right now, Singer only exists in Amber. I would like to see if there's gonna be a thing where like Bodyguard shows up in Amber as well. Healing is a thing that exists pretty much exclusively in Amber. So it'd just be interesting to see how they choose to spread certain abilities around. And maybe it's a thing like certain things will exist in 1 or 2 colors, 2 inks. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with the rest of the set. Obviously, we're still almost 2 months away, and we've had only, what are we up to now? We had 6 and like 13, so we're up to 19 cards. So we have a lot of cards left to go, a whole bunch of cards left to go. I hope, a little side note, because I tend to get distracted like this. I hope that we don't know which cards are going to be the enchanted rares until people start opening packs. Just like what happened at Gen Con, they announced the new rarity, and we didn't know what the cards look like or which cards were enchanted until everybody started pulling them and posting them on social media. I thought that was a super fun, kind of immersive, collaborative way to find out about stuff. And I really hope that that's what happens again. I really, really do. I am debating taking November 17th off from work so I can go. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a good pre order in, and I'll hopefully be able to get in and pick up boxes and start cracking some packs and sharing what that looks like as soon as the set is out. But we'll see. So, anyways, guys, that's what's new. New reveals for this week. And as we basically, I currently plan to do like a weekly Rise of the Floodborn news roundup, kind of cover all the new stuff that's been leaked or revealed, I guess is a better way to say it, because it's not like it's getting leaked. This is definitely stuff coming directly from Ravensburger, from Lorcana team. Nothing we've learned so far has come from any sort of like unofficial channels. It hasn't been, like, I'm actually very surprised and very impressed. Compared to like how Magic set leaks tend to happen, with how early product gets out into the wild compared to when they're doing their kind of set reveals and spoiler season stuff. Ravensburger's done a really good job of kind of keeping a tight lid on it, so I think they're doing an awesome job. And I hope they continue to. It'd be really unfortunate, I think, if the enchanted rares were gonna start getting spoiled before everybody has the ability to kind of open up packs at the same time. So, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. That's not how it breaks out. But I do like when we get to kind of all learn things for the first time by opening packs. I think is super fun. I also hope they collaborate with content creators and community members to let members of the community who are very vocal and supportive of the game be able to reveal cards to their fans. I think that's a super fun way to interact with the communities by letting people like citizens of Lorcana and other people like that kind of be able to do their reveals and be the first ones to kind of share information with the public. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to the rest of the spoiler season, or reveal season, I guess. But I'm still also very much enjoying the first chapter. I think there's lots of unexplored ground. I think there's definitely time for a couple more archetypes to kind of rise up and challenge the Ruby Amethyst deck for its throne. I think there's potentially room for like a mill deck, because those decks are typically running right at 60 and they draw a lot of cards on their own. There's room for like a mill deck to potentially face that down, but they got to be facing a lot of draw. And I think the challenge there is just you have too many other decks that don't draw a ton of cards, and the ability to kind of get up if the field isn't like 60% Ruby Amethyst is going to be trickier for a mill deck. But I also think that green Emerald Steel is a really powerful combination on the whole, even if you're not playing mill. That's actually what I run at League. Anyways, this has been what's new in Lorcana news for Rise of the Floodborn information. Sorry, I've been up since like 5 a.m. That's when I get up for work. So I'm just trying to get this out to everybody. So yeah, if you missed the first part, this will go over to YouTube in a little bit. And I was planning on doing another Porcana video stream, making we got Ruby Steel coming up. I'll probably do that one tomorrow night or maybe even tomorrow morning, depending on when I get up. If I'm up like an hour and a half before my kids wake up, I might just go ahead and stream that early in the morning, and then I'll just get that over on YouTube for the people who want to check it out. Um, but yeah, anyways, I love chatting about this. I love seeing the new cards, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. But until next time, uh, I'll see you then, and have a good night. Goodbye.